Hi everybody, it's Ellen Jaffe Jones, and I am devoting this part of my YouTube channel to my new incarnation, or pivoting as the buzzword goes right now. We are doing this because it's so important, as many of us have been faced with challenges of our careers being upside down as a result of COVID and canceling our speaking tour and our book tours and everything else that has been a part of our life. And for some of us, even racing. That's been the biggest bummer for me. I don't know about you, but if you follow me because you like my athletic part of what I do, it has definitely been quite a challenge to see what's happened. I mean, all the races are canceled. I had gotten to my 199th 5K or longer age group award that I had received since 2006, just on plants. So this was quite a different opportunity. And I've been looking at going into real estate, and part of that was just that my mom and my dad owned a lighting fixture store in St. Louis. It was the biggest one. So we would spend our childhoods, my sisters and I, traipsing around to different properties under construction, and that's how my dad got his business to be so large, as he really prospected builders, new home builders in St. Louis. So it was a great opportunity to see what was good quality construction and what wasn't. And then when I became a television investigative reporter, I won the National Press Club Award for figuring out that there was real estate fraud going on. Imagine this, with timeshare properties in St. Louis. In the St. Louis area. Oh, you mean you wanted a street and plumbing with that timeshare? Little details like that. So that was great fun. And of course, just following the stories of different senior citizens as they were getting ripped off by contractors. That was part of my job as well. And, you know, I have focused on trying to work with sellers and buyers who really want to get the best deal for their money. I mean, that's what we all want, right? And so as a result, I have worked with a broker here in the Sarasota, Florida area where I live, who actually is vegan too. So it worked out quite well. We've actually done a number of interviews based on my 5th book called Vegan Sex. And as many of you may know, I am a vegan book author, and that was my 5th book, after realizing that all of my partners who had suffered over the years from erectile dysfunction maybe could have changed things around by going plant-based a lot sooner. I mean, the cardiologists really do understand this. So my boyfriend and partner now is the broker at this real estate company, and they are the largest. Realty One Group is the largest, fastest growing real estate company of its kind right now. They do the whole 100% payout. Why is that? Because so much of everything now is online. You don't really need even a physical office, as we found out during COVID, to operate. So I am pledging to do real estate news you can use on different topics every Wednesday at, it'll be, let's see, by the time we get through here, 5 o'clock Eastern time. So if you're looking for different news tips and news you can use in the real estate business, because that is what I used to do big time, I'm happy to be here with whatever questions or topics you want to hear about. And of course, I have my own agenda of things that I think are important as somebody who is looking to buy or sell in real estate in Florida, where I am licensed. So normally I would have a tripod, but we're kind of operating on the fly here, and I thought I'd sort of give you a little tour of our office anyway as I move and talk around. So today's topic, very briefly, I'm only going to do 5 to 7 minutes. Should you rent? Should you buy? My feeling is, of course, there are some smoking deals. The inventory is quite low right now. So those people who have their homes on the market, they are really desperate to sell. And I have also seen people who are really desperate to get these deals come in at asking price or even above asking price on some foreclosed properties, which my brokerage here has been a big player in the Sarasota area for many years. we have seen some really interesting deals come across, properties that are 100 to 150,000 below what's going in the neighborhood. Of course, little details like it was a drug house and there are bullet holes that went through the plumbing and maybe the roof, who knows, those kinds of things that do come up. So you have to be willing to be, if you're going to be a player in that, be an investor and understand the value of something like that. It may not be in move-in condition, but plenty of places are. And as we are going forward, the markets are just rapidly changing, and we expect there will be some substantial changes in the next year. Of course, as we see people thinking, maybe I may not be able to afford my home, or maybe I want to get out of New Jersey or Kansas, as a couple of calls I've had in the last few days have gone, so that we can come to Florida where the sun is and where maybe the virus isn't so much. Of course, it's all subjective, and there are different ways the virus is being spread, and we could do just hours and hours on that. So at least being able to live in a place where you can exercise outside 24/7 pretty much. You get 2 days warning from a hurricane if they come. I would much take that over a tornado where I lived in Missouri. You just don't get much warning. And I even experienced a couple of earthquakes there that were not a lot of fun. So if you have any questions, just drop them below. And of course, subscribe if you want to be alerted to all of the different topics I will be covering. And suffice it to say, I have no end of topics that I could talk about as it relates to homes and buying and, why. I mean, some people can't afford a home, and I get that. But if you can, it sure is. My parents rented on Siesta Key since the 1970s, and all of us daughters were saying, why don't you buy? And they just didn't want to take the risk. So I do understand that, I really do. But if you can't afford it, absolutely, there's only so much water around a small, relatively speaking, area of coastline. So, there are certainly more problems with salt water to deal with. But that's what insurance is for, and if you have good contractors, you can handle those problems if and when they come up. But anyway, so that is the story. My contact information is below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I gotta run.